You guys, I had to vent about like a bad date experience. Like I do not know how I have attracted more toxic white boy energy, but I somehow managed to. However, because I know what I want, what I don't want, and what I absolutely will not tolerate, I was able to like cut that short and just say like, no, I'm not participating. You know what I mean? Like, I will not participate interacting with any man where he is not speaking gently to me, not cherishing me, not being loving to me, any kind of conversations that are intimidating, condescending, controlling, manipulating. I'm not having that. Let's just say that I had been he hit me up, first of all. We talked, we had some conversations, deep conversations. I felt like bonding time, and like, he basically was like, I want to show you all the love that you deserve. I want to lick your pussy. I want to taste you in every way. I'm going to fuck you so good. I'm going to hold you through the night. This is what he was like promising, right? Or, saying. And then when we get together, it's like he's not doing that. He's like barely would even give a hug, like very cold towards me, very like argumentative, almost like arguing with me as if we had already had a relationship or something. Like, I don't know, like very like dumb shit, basically. Like, we went, first there were some red flags. Like, he didn't open the door for me when we went. Like, he came with his truck. He didn't open the door for me to get in. And like, I think a lot of women would be like, oh, date ended right there, but I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, let's go. And we get alcohol, of course. And, first of all, I always want to be treated with like utmost care as possible. And so things like that include opening my drink for me. Like, don't want to ruin my nails, but even if I didn't have nails on, I feel like as a feminine, we want our men to handle that. Like, so I was like, oh, here, I'm like, can you open my drink? Like, I didn't even feel like I should have had to ask, And he's like, oh, yeah, let me open your drink because I forgot you're a princess. Don't want to break your nails. Like, real attitude, real angry. He reminded me of my husband, and it was a big eye-opener as to why I left that marriage. Being mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you gonna be mean? Like, then on another point, we're in my yard, we're in my house, like, we're sitting in like spots in my yard that like I come for peace. And I said, oh, I was thinking about planting some certain flowers right here. He's like, that's a dumb idea. Like, you don't need all the flower. Like, I don't know. And it was just like, hey, like, I'm sitting here trying to enjoy the beautiful evening. The moon was out. Like, we're out. It's late at night. It's a nice temperature. Like, everything's fine. Like, if a girl is talking about, like, oh, she wants to have flowers or something, like, why are you like shitting on that? You know, I don't like this. This is like, literally, it reminded me so much of my horrible abusive marriage. And like, in a nutshell, we never made out, we never hugged, we never cuddled, he never ate me out, and he never fucked me. And that was like what I wanted from even hanging around with him. Like, what we were doing is like combative, like conversation. Like, I didn't want a conversation, like argumentative conversation. Like, I'm sitting here being put through like heavy energy. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And like, men who have no respect for like females, I cannot do it. And like, I'm not going to be manipulated and talked to and down talked in such a way that makes it seem like I'm controlling. But yes, I do control this environment. This is my house. I pay the rent. I maintain this property. And what I say goes. I don't accept for you to be abusive to me in my safe space. This is my safe space. And I never let men over here. And I just literally like see what happens and why. And this is why I don't let someone over here. And I thought that it was going to be okay, and it wasn't. And like, we go out to my garden out back, and we're sitting here like on my swing, and this is supposed to be something peaceful, and he starts like yammering at me, and I'm just like, look, you don't get to come here into my safe space of beauty and peace and like put your toxic energy on me. Like, you're not allowed to do that, you know? And I took him out of my backyard because I wasn't accepting that. Like, you want to act like this, we're going to go in the street. So I was literally out in the street, like standing, dealing with this man. And I just remember, like, at one point when we were in my kitchen, he was like, why do you just have fruit sitting here on this towel? And it was because I had washed the fruit and then set it on the towel on my counter so that I could eat it when it was like juicy, ripe, warm temperature, like room temperature. And I didn't want to just set it down and all the water just go all over my counter. But it's like, are you questioning me about like what I'm doing here? And then get this. He was just trying to light up a cigarette in my house. And I'm like, whoa, no, like, you can't smoke cigarettes in here. I'm like, you can go outside to the end of my driveway. I don't like it floating back. And dude, he got mad. He got angry. He accused me of being controlling and like throwing a bit of a bitch fit like over that. But it's like, listen, I maintain my own establishment so that I can control how things are. Like, yes, like I can control what comes in and out of this property. You know, if you want to smoke, you are more than welcome to do that on public property. You can do it in your own vehicle. You can do it wherever. I don't like cigarettes. I don't want them around. I don't want it floating into my kid's room window. Like, I just don't want it. And I definitely don't want a man who's gonna like not respect that. And like, listen here with men. The only way a man would be allowed around me is if they're clearly stating what the intention is, what we're going to be doing, because I'm not just going to hang around like for what? If this is not making my life better, then for what? No, thank you. No, thank you. And this is why I've been single. It's like these toxic white boys, dude. He kept saying, well, I'm a survivalist. I'm here to survive. Like, I don't have that. Like, I don't, whatever else. And I'm like, yeah, this sounds like my husband that I married that I had to get away from, because that's the kind of shit he would say too. Like, we're trying to have a walk in the park and all he wants to keep saying is like, I'm a survivalist. Like, I don't care about, certain, whatever it was, and it was like, damn, like, so having a soft, happy time with me, like, I'm sorry, I'm not coming into a park to be like penetrated by like toxic masculinity. Like, that's not why I go to a park with a guy at all. Never held hands. He's like, you know what? I don't really like holding hands. I don't like all that affection. I don't like being touched. And I'm like, well, you're with the wrong person, because like I need all that lovey-dovey shit. And even at another point in time when we were back at my house, he was like, I can stand here and it's like, I do say that I care about you and I do care about you, but I don't show it. And I'm like, well, I need someone to show it. You're not giving me a hug, you're not treating me gently, you're not giving me affection or anything. Like, I think maybe you need to leave, because this is not how I was expecting this to go, and I'm not gonna tolerate this at all. Like, it was fucking whack, dude. Like, I really felt like I just found a carbon copy of my husband, and if I wanted to deal with that shit from a guy, I'd be with my husband who looks better. I mean, they're both white guys, but like, they're both tall, skinny white boys, blue eyes, blonde hair, tattoos, but like, my husband does look better, and I at least trust my husband, like, to a certain extent. Like, I know he wouldn't walk around the house and maybe rob me or whatever. Like, you never know with a weird, strange person that you don't really know. And I thought I kind of knew him, but I guess I didn't. So, yeah, bad date. And the worst part is I really, really thought I was going to be getting me some pleasure, some happy times, some cuddles. This is what I need in my life. I don't want angry men putting their anger at me. I don't want that at all. So it was a big lesson to realize, like, that I had been questioning, wow, was I overreacting when I said I couldn't put up with the way this man like verbally abuses me and then neglects me physically? And no, I was not overreacting. It is a very intense thing to deal with, and I think because I've been single for so long and I don't allow men to like be this way, and I don't live with a man, it's that much more painful when I'm trying to be bloomed as a flower, and like somebody said this before, like, if I'm a flower, I want somebody who's going to be watering me gently, and this guy, he wouldn't even say anything nice to me. He did say one comment about my body, like, oh, you still have a hot body or whatever, but it was like, he never said, hey, beautiful, or called me beautiful, or complimented me. What he did say was, oh, yeah, look at me. I know I'm sexy. Like, I don't know. It's just that arrogance. Like, he was more talking about his own self and then his truck. Like, oh, yeah, look at my truck's grill. Like, okay, yeah, the truck is cool. It was cool, but like, are you getting a boner for your truck and not me? Like, what do you... Like, I'm here, like, we have a date, like, we're supposed to be You're supposed to be like pampering me and like pleasing me, and like here you are like running this mouth. Like that is not what I signed up for. So yeah, I had to send him on his way, and it sucked because like I don't think these guys see it. Red flag when a guy tells you, I'm just in survival mode. You know, back off, because you know what? I have fought and healed and done a lot to get out of that survival mode. I'm trying to thrive. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to have like good times. And I definitely don't need someone come to rain on my parade, like for real. So yeah, that was like a real disappointment. I keep on getting really disappointed by how men are. Like, I thought he was coming over for like literal sex and like licking me all over. And I even put new lacy pink underwear on and a matching bra. And before he came over, I got in my tub and like exfoliated my feet and legs and like put on some really yummy lotion, because I'm thinking, oh, if he's going to be like kissing on my feet, rubbing my feet, they'll be all soft and I'll smell good. And I got none of that. I got no affection. Like, I don't want a man around me to hinder me. Like, this is why I guess I'm single. It's this Akron white trash. I'm pretty much just got to be done with it. Like, you know, I swear to God, like, it's like two different mindsets, two different worlds. I clash with it. I really do. And he even at one point says, you know, I really don't like your personality. I don't like your outlook on things. This is reality. This is, you know, like, I don't know what he said. Like, this is how it is in this world. And I'm like, no, like, there's other people that believe for better, and we are changing the world. Like, if you actually would just see that, you know, like, I can't even remember what example it was, but it's like, no, I don't have to subscribe to what you're saying. He was very, very indoctrinated into the Matrix. He was very indoctrinated into like toxic patriarchy. Like, not one thing about walking through that park together was nice. There was never a point where he actually put his hand on my back and led me around. There was never hand holding. There was never a hug. There was never even a cute moment. It was all his booming conversation. It was like confrontational, and it was almost like he was trying to argue with me about the way I see life or the way I believe things or who I am in general, and then trying to tell me who I am or how I am. And I had to say, okay, wait, no. Like, you don't get to tell me, like, and then he's like, oh yeah, you are, or something about like, the problem with you is you go after these guys that blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you know, you want to keep going for guys with tattoos. You're more likely to get that kind of treatment or whatever. And I'm like, dude, don't tell me. First of all, I don't go after guys. Guys pursue me. And then on occasion, I'll give one a chance, hoping that it'll go good. And then again, like this situation, this is not going good. So I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't need it. There's no reason for me to need or want any level of toxicity at all. And I refuse it, period. Like, I only want to be around a man who's meeting my needs, treating me gently, complimenting me, being mindful of my heart, being mindful of my soul, being mindful of my body, worshiping my body, touching me in a pleasurable way. I'm not doing the other stuff. That is a very strong boundary that I have. I will not tolerate. Absolutely not. So, yeah, I've been, I go on dates here and there. I got a dinner date with somebody else tonight. I don't mind people being in my life on an occasional basis. Like, I don't want someone thinking that they are allowed to mistreat me in any way. And maybe a lot of people are okay with that, and maybe in my past, maybe I was okay with it because I literally thought trauma, abuse, violence, anger, rage, screaming and yelling, I thought that was normal. I didn't know any better. I was a product of trauma, and I have evolved from that. I don't want to participate in that. I want to be treated gently. I want to be around a man who's going to bring out my feminine essence, my softness, bring out that girl version of me who is just happy and carefree. And don't bring out survival mode in me. Don't bring out the warrior beast. Don't bring out me having to be defensive, because then I'm going to turn masculine and I'm going to be more masculine than you, and it's going to be a fight, and I don't want to fight with men. I refuse to fight with men. I am a female, I am a goddess, and I shall be treated like one, and period, end of story. If you're not going to treat me beautifully and preciously, you will not get the privilege of being in my aura, in my energy, in my pussy, in my house. You just don't get to be around. So that's how that is. I'm just making that shit clear as fuck for anyone. Like, step up or get the motherfucking step in. So that's it. I'm annoyed with it. Done with it. So, yep. Later.